I'm sorry, did I say Sleeve Island? I meant Body Island. Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. This is a YouTube channel where I come to you every week, sit down and chat about what I've been knitting on, what I've been quilting, or whatever other crafty rabbit hole I happen to be diving down. And if that's your jam, you are in the right place. So gather around, grab a cup of something because we're gonna get into some knitting this week. But first, you're probably, if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I am yet again recording from another area of my house because roof construction has commenced. Yeah, it's a bit noisy out there, especially in my craft room, because today they decided to rip off all the shingles on the part of the house where my craft room happens to be. I mean, Murphy's Law. And if you are a new viewer, welcome. If you were just tuning in, my husband and I, we just moved into this place, well, I want to say like about four months ago, and we're tackling all the home renovations. So if you hear any ambient noise like that hammering, I sincerely apologize. This seems to be the quietest room in the house at the moment, which happens to be our sunroom. And you know what, to be honest, I really like this place. I really like the sunroom because it's so light and airy, and it's a really cozy little nook of the house. Well, I would love to make this an annex to my already existing craft room. I have to be nice and share it with my husband. We have grand plans to turn this into a nice little chill zone for us. It's just a really nice, relaxing little place in the house. You can tell it's so bright and airy. There's even a fireplace in here. So during the winter, it's gonna be cozy for the win, and I'm very, very excited. But for now, it's a temporary recording studio, so I hope you're cool with that. And as far as other announcements, I think we're good. I'm not doing an elephants in the room segment this week because, as you can see, Margot the mannequin, my lovely assistant, she is not behind me, and clearly it is way too hot for me to be modeling any knitwear at this point. But in lieu of an elephants in the room segment, I thought that I would share some projects that are on my knitting queue that I would really, really like to cast on. I mean, I feel like it's been a while since I did just a little roundup of patterns that are inspiring me, that I am gravitating towards, because my Ravelry queue is ever growing. It's about 10 pages long. So this morning I did browse it just to see what's still on my radar, what I'm still excited about, what I'm not excited about. And I curated 5 patterns that I think once I'm done with a couple of my current projects, I could see those very well hopping on my needles. So that's what we're gonna chat about after I'm done sharing what I got up to on vacation knit-wise. Last weekend was the 4th of July, a holiday weekend here in the United States, in case you didn't know. And we did go on a quickie little vacation. We spent a night over in Mystic, Connecticut, which is about a 2.5-hour drive from here. So it was great to just kind of escape the hustle and bustle that's happening here and just kind of enjoy some quiet downtime elsewhere. Although I will admit, since we've moved in here, this place has felt like a vacation. I can't describe it. It kind of feels like, I feel like I'm living in an Airbnb. It's so bizarre. As much as this feels like home, it also feels like I'm on a vacation. It's probably because we're still in the honeymoon phase of, moving into a new house when things are new and exciting. I'm sure after a couple of months, a year or so, we'll be like, yeah, let's go on a vacation. But anyway, it felt really good to kind of escape things for a little bit, but at the same time, I missed being here. I love our new house. But anyway, I digress, because I do have some progress. I do have some progress on my Miss May MKAL, a pattern, a mystery knit along, I should say, by Helen Stewart. And again, keyword here, mystery knit along. So if you don't want any spoilers, I'm gonna pop a time code in the down bar so you can skip ahead so none of the clues are spoiled. All right, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers are coming. All right, we're doing it. So again, nothing much to write home about. I did bring this with me on vacation, specifically to knit on the beach. I didn't really make much progress other than finishing Clue 2. So here's where we are. And unlike last week, I am not mid-row. So you can kind of see where I am. And again, this kind of looks like a little rumpled mess because it is lace, but once it's all blocked and stretched, you can see. And look at that. So, so pretty. That's the benefit of having a lit background, right? Look how pretty that is. And again, I probably would have been a little further along had I not messed up the end of Clue 2. I'm not sure how well you can see this, but there is a garter ridge here. Clue 2 ends with a garter ridge, and when I initially knit the last row of Clue 2, I did not knit the garter ridge, because sometimes I forget that the purl symbol is a purl on the right side of your work and a knit on the wrong side of your work. So, you know, I don't know, call it whatever kind of brain you want. I knit the last row as a purl stitch and not a knit stitch as it should have been. So last night, after I was done working, Dennis had band practice, so again, movie night with me and the cat, I sat down to start on Clue 3, and I got maybe about, you know, an hour and a half in. I got to maybe row 3 of Clue 3, and I realized, I'm like, I don't know, something's not looking right. And, you know, I did go check out some spoilers on Ravelry. I mean, the beauty of Ravelry, say no more. So anyway, I put 2 and 2 together, looked at the chart again, and, you know, brain fart, Kristen. And I knew if I left it in, it would bother me. So I did rip back, and I did re-knit and finish Clue 2 again, and I'm now currently on row 2 of Clue 3. Are you as confused as I am right now? All that to say that I'm now back on track knitting Clue 3, and yes, I'm sorely behind. Helen Stewart released the last and final clue yesterday, and I did indeed take a look at the spoilers, the finished final reveal, and yeah, it's a beautiful pattern. I have no regrets. No regrets, my friends. I'm so glad that I cast this on. But the yarn that I'm using is My Hand-Dyed Yarns, Voolenvine yarns, on my footsie base, which is a fingering weight, Blueface Luster, nylon blend, and contrary to the name footsie, technically it is a sock yarn, but you can use it to knit whatever you want. And, you know, truth be told, I have never used this base to knit anything but socks, and I have been missing out, my friends. Seriously. Just because it's considered sock yarn does not mean that you can't knit anything else with it. And I'm actually excited to try knitting with this yarn in a sweater in the future. So anyway, yeah, just thinking out loud as usual. But yeah, the colorways, if you are just tuning in, the colorways that I'm using right here, this colorway right here is 7-year stitch. Then we have Voolenvine number 9, Dirty on Purpose, and Jilted Rose. And Clue 2, you can barely see it, but she has you go back from this colorway, which is 7-year stitch, to using Voolenvine number 9. So color D and then color C. Love the way this is knitting up, and yeah, again, simple, easy, intuitive, such a joy, such a pleasure to knit. No regrets at all for casting this on. So if you've been on the fence, I highly, highly recommend it. And I also packed my Fiola in my other katydid bags. Yeah, guys, I love this bag so much. So as moody and as goth and as dark as it is, it makes me so happy. It really does. Yeah, but these bags travel so well. And I believe it or not, I made more progress on my Fiola than I did on my mystery knit along, you know? But I feel like I'm giving them both equal amounts of love. But my Fiola, I have to say, I love this pattern so much. It is just knitting up beautifully. We are now off Sleeve Island. I'm sorry, did I say Sleeve Island? I meant Body Island. We came off Body Island. There's the ribbing. And now we are on Sleeve Island. So I want to say I'm more than halfway done with the first sleeve. And can we talk about this sleeve detail? I mean, I don't know how well you can see this. How gorgeous is this design? I mean, Isabelle Kraemer, she's genius. I don't know. I'm just... Confession, this is my very first Isabelle Kraemer pattern. Well, no, I lied. I did cast on a Girl's Best Friend shawl, but fell off the wagon with that one, and, you know, it was a little too involved, and I just really wasn't feeling it, but this will be my very first finished Isabelle Kraemer pattern. So I'll stand up so you can see. It falls just perfectly where I want it to, just enough crop, just enough length. This is going to go so beautifully over a dress in the fall and winter. I'm very, very excited about it. But yeah, as you can see, I switched to my Chiaogoo shorties. I love using the shorties for sleeves because I notice when I use either DPNs or magic loop for sleeves, my gauge changes, and especially when I use DPNs, I notice ladders forming along where the needles change, if that makes any sense. The shorties, they're just perfectly sized in the round for sleeves, and you can actually customize the length. So if knitting with true shorties for socks is too short for you, like they are for me, you can add a short needle and a long needle because they give you two lengths of the same needle size, which I think is brilliant. So anyway, loving this project. And the yarn again is MKAL fibers, and they're 100% baby yak lace. Love the way this yarn feels knit up, and I can tell you right now it's going to be even softer and bloomier. Is bloomier a word? once it's blocked. It's just really lovely yarn to work with. Here's the yarn close up, and yeah, I am knitting this holding two strands of the baby yak lace together, and it creates this a really nice fingering weight yarn as opposed to just lace. Of course you knew that. So yeah, that, my friends, is all the progress, the knitting progress, or the creative content that I have to share with you this week. So I am going to move along to what is on my knitting radar as far as patterns are concerned, because I've got some good ones for you. So let me just wet the whistle here a second. Again, this morning I went through my Ravelry queue and just browsed, seeing what I'm still into knitting on it, because over the years, you know how the Ravelry queue gets. I don't know, unless you're like super organized and meticulous with your Ravelry queue. I know who you are. I've seen people like you. What is your secret? I'm not one of those. I'm a collector. I let things pile up and then clear the decks when I just can't take it anymore. I digress. This morning I went through my Ravelry queue and cherry picked 5 patterns that I could totally see myself casting on once all of these are off the needles, at least these projects, because I have a funny feeling they're going to be done soonly. Let's start out with, this is a really good one, and this pattern, the Forest Weave by Yumiko Alexander, it's a very drapey, almost tunic-y pullover with short sleeves that I'm sure you can customize or adjust to your liking. But what I really love about this is the cabling detail. This pattern actually came on my radar when I went to pick up every stitch for the Knit Together with Jonna and Kim cast-on party for their knit-along. Guys, wow, that's a lot of words. But anyway, at Kim and Jonna's cast-on party for their knit-along for the Dingley Dell Cal that they're co-hosting with MKAL Fibers, Isabell Kraemer, they had a cast-on party at Pick Up Every Stitch, and the knitting posse came, and Kate was wearing this very pullover, and my jaw dropped. I fell so in love with it, and picked her brain about it. But the cool thing about this pattern is that it's knit. They're giant cables knit sideways or horizontally, I want to say, and then you graft everything together. I'm not entirely sure of the construction, but it's pretty genius from what I hear. So immediately added this to my queue, and yeah, I could totally see knitting this in a charcoal gray or even a black. Perfect project for linen, cotton, silk. Yeah, all yarns that I don't have too much experience with, but would love the opportunity to, work with a lot more. I knit my ranunculus out of Ilmani Sabri, which is a alpaca cotton blend, and that was definitely stepping outside of my comfort zone, but so glad that I did, because that was a beautiful yarn to work with. I'm definitely excited to work with some other new and exciting yarns, especially for this pattern, so definitely give that a try. Moving along, there's the Lotus by Sarah Blue Design, and this is, again, just a very simple pullover, but has a really beautiful, intricate lace yoke detail. There's something about it that I'm loving. I love. It's just so delicate and feminine. Just an overall really beautiful design. I'm loving like these basic pullovers with intricate, exciting, interesting detail happening in the yoke. I am completely here for it. The next thing on my list is the April cardigan by Petit Knit, and Jonna of the Knit Together with Kim and Jonna YouTube channel, she just finished knitting this, and that's how that got on my radar. Because I'm perpetually on a quest to knit my ideal everyday black cardigan. I need a black cardigan in my wardrobe. I keep wanting to knit one for myself, but I keep getting distracted by the new and shinies, or I find patterns but that seem right, but don't quite tick all the boxes for me. And this one seems to tick all the boxes for me. Just seeing how it fits on her. I mean, Jonna and I, it seems like we have the same stature, if that makes any sense. So I think, it looks amazing on her. So I think it'll complement my shape as well. So, and especially just seeing hers. I also love that she went a little extra with it by adding some, nice diamond bling buttons to it. It just a perfect touch, I think. And I know I could have a lot of fun with it. And I'm not sure, the April cardigan, I believe, is DK weight. Let me see. It's mohair lace held together with a light fingering, which equals DK weight. And I'm wondering if there is a fingering weight version. I think there is. I'm pretty sure there is. I remember stumbling on it. So I have options here. And, if I knit this, I'm probably going to omit the mohair just because for an everyday cardigan that I want to chuck on, I think I'm just going to go with a basic. I do have some charcoal gray in my stash, some Cloudborn, which I think would be perfect for this, but I might up the ante a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. But this is definitely going to go on my needles at some point soon. Hopefully, at least by fall, by autumn. And this pattern is actually not yet released. It's by Locatelli. She just teased it yesterday on her Instagram feed. It's actually going to be released this week. So by the time you're watching this, it probably will have been released, so I'll leave a link to it in the down bar. And she's calling it the Lace and Fade Boxy. While it is just a little hint, a peek, I can already tell I'm gonna love it. And if you're not familiar with Hohi's original Boxy sweater, you get the idea of where this is gonna go. And I'm completely here for it. Definitely gonna be knitting this in my own hand-dyed yarn. And actually, I did dye some yarn this week. I dyed Rochester on Nouveau, Footsie, and Ghost Lace. And if I could cast on today, I would probably use Rochester in Nouveau and Ghost Lace. I mean, very, very, very tempted. So I cannot wait to see this in all its glory. Hohi, if you're watching, I have no idea if you are. Hello. But I think she watches sometimes, I think, which blows my mind. But anyway, I'm very excited to see this pattern in all its glory. Anyway, I could not resist including this because when I saw it on my Instagram feed, I was just like, show me more, tell me more, I want to see it. But yeah, it looks absolutely beautiful. And last but not least, because Isabelle Kraemer, I've tasted the Kool-Aid and I want more. The Elah, I think it's Elah or Elah, I'm gonna go with Elah by Isabelle Kraemer, another cardigan pattern that I think needs to go on my needles immediately. I mean, it's just a simple cardigan that you can chuck on. Simple lace detail, but so effective, long sleeve. I could see this as a chunky, cozy, go-to cardigan that will just keep me warm all winter long. I mean, that's the vibe. That's the vibe that I'm getting from this pattern. And I want to knit all the Isabelle Kraemer patterns. I'm here for them. They're just, again, so well designed. Construction is brilliant. I mean, if you have not cast on an Isabelle Kraemer pattern, at least a sweater, what are you doing with your knitting life? Do yourself a favor and just do it. I mean, you will not be sorry. Anyway, but yeah, so that is an updated version of patterns that I'm itching to cast on. I know I did one of these episodes, I don't know, about a year or two ago. Feels like yesterday, but anyway, yeah, you seem to enjoy that, so I did it again, and I hope you enjoyed it equally this time, if not more. And I know some of you are probably wondering, Kristen, what happened to those other patterns that you were thinking about casting on? My tastes, I go through phases. They wax, they wane. I did cast one on by Johanna. I'm blinking on the name. Again, a wonderful pattern. I just really wasn't liking the yarn or the color of the yarn, so I kind of let it fall to the wayside, frogged it. But it is a pattern that I would love to revisit using a different type of yarn. But again, another pattern that has wonderful construction. It was similar to the Fiola in that it had a neckline detail right here in the shape of a V. Really, really pretty. I'm such a fan of that type of style, but anyway. I'm blanking on whether I knit anything else from that. Yeah, I don't know, my memory is fickle these days, guys. But anyway, yeah, so that pretty much sums up this episode. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to chat about with you. I know I mentioned the last week that I might be taking a little bit of time off from uploading, just a week or two, because clearly things are a little crazy and, you know, we just have all these other things going on, so I might need to take a little break. But, you know, if I can, I will. If not, you know, just know that I will be back. I will be back with some more content for you. But come rain or shine, I will have a Monday Waffle for channel members. If you're not familiar, the Monday Waffle is my bonus vlog that I upload every week for channel members. So if you would like a little extra bonus content from yours truly and would like to support this channel and what I do here, do consider becoming a member by clicking the join button down below. Again, I publish a weekly bonus vlog called the Monday Waffle, where it's basically me just waffling on about what I got up to over the weekend, life-wise, craft-wise, what's inspiring me, my creative process, and, you know, generally just thinking out loud. It's a fun time all around, and, you know, get to OD on caffeine every Monday. And you can also get an invite to our private Facebook group where we have make-alongs going on, giveaways, and all that fun stuff. It's just a wonderful place for channel members to share what we're working on, chat, ask questions, and yeah, it's just a really, really wonderful, beautiful place to be. I love it, and, you know, I hope you guys do too. I should mention that these bonus features are available for a cup of something tier members and above, just FYI. But anyway, all right, my friends, I am gonna end things there. Thank you so much, as always, for hanging out with me. Again, if you're new here and you haven't already, consider liking and subscribing down below. I'm putting out videos for your viewing pleasure every week. And until the next video, have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you next. Can't talk today, guys. And I will see you next time. Bye.